Hey y'all, and welcome back to the Empowered Era. I am Victoria, your host. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am so glad that you're here. And if you've been rocking with me for a while, thank you for coming back, for your consistent support, and for just growing with me. Before we hop into today's episode, I did want to do a little disclaimer to remind you guys that I am not a licensed therapist. I am not here to give any mental health advice, anything like that. I'm just speaking to y'all from a level of experience, what either I've experienced or I've witnessed somebody close to me experience. Okay. So let's get in today's conversation. Today's episode is titled The Power of Proximity When You Elevate. Again, I always speak on things that I've either been through or that I'm actively going through. And this is something, y'all, that I am actively going through and I need to check my circle. But we're going to go through that. And then this episode is going to be like a little reflective. So I will be asking questions for y'all to answer to yourselves, obviously. To just really like take account of who's in your circle. Are they holding you back? Are they elevating you? All the good stuff, but I don't want to get ahead of myself. So, the first question is, who are the closest people around you right now? Okay. So just sit with that for a second. Don't overthink it. Just notice who comes to mind, whether it's family, friends, people at work, people at school. Okay. And so, again, everybody loves the idea of growth. We love to elevate and we love to just step into the best versions of ourselves, right? But nobody really prepares you for what happens when you actually start changing. And, it can be serious. As far as like the people that you lose or like the attitudes that switch up, the secret hate that may come your way, like you really got to take account of it. Okay. And so, again, I want to ask you something personal. Have you ever started growing and noticed that certain relationships started to shift? And that is very, very real. It's something that I've experienced too. And again, as I elevate like my mindset, my businesses, and just who I am as a woman, I've noticed something that's super interesting, right? That you don't always take everybody with you. For me, this was very hard because like I'm a person that loves to see everybody at their full potential, be their best selves, whether I have anything to do with it or not. I think that in this life, because we only get one, it is extremely important for us to be happy, because we only get one life. And so this was foreign to me when I'm like, okay, I'm elevating, I'm doing all this business stuff. Like, I want to take people with me. The people that I've been sitting at the same table with, hee ha ha, going out, enjoying life. Like, I want them to be at my level as well. And it's just something that's not realistic. So I want you to think about your own life for a second. Have you ever outgrown certain people or spaces without even meaning to? And so, again, here's what I've learned. Sometimes you don't lose people necessarily. Sometimes things just realign. So the conversations get shorter. Some energy fades. Some relationships don't even feel the same anymore. And again, I feel like I'm in a season of like kind of realigning where I'm going through the same thing, y'all. So if y'all going through this, you're not alone, trust me. Um And so here's something else that I want you to reflect on. Is there someone in your life right now that feels different than they used to? Okay. And then at the same time, as you're losing people with your realignment, you're going to also gain people. You're going to gain people who understand you. You're going to gain people who see your growth and don't feel threatened by it. You're going to gain people who support you without needing the reminders. And that's extremely important. And again, as I'm going through this period of growth, or as I've been going through it for about 6, 8 months now, um, some people have fallen to the wayside. If I'm not the one doing the check-ins or whatever, I don't hear from them. And that's just what it is. And then on the other side, like I've gained a community of people who are on the same path as me. And with me, entrepreneurship is huge. So for me to fall in line with people who have the same vision, who have the same mission, who are passionate about what they do, like for me, that's huge and that's game changer. And it's motivational and inspirational to me as well. So you got to find the right people who are going to pour into you. But here's another question. What does support actually look like in your life right now? And for me, this is something that's huge. It's huge because support is not just words. Support is not just, I'm proud of you. That's amazing. Support is action. And again, please pay attention to this, especially if you're in school, if you're growing a business, or just doing something that you're passionate about. Some people will say they support you, but again, it's as you go through life, like it'll make sense. Like at first, like I didn't get this. I thought like support was just anything across the board. But it's really not. Support is those moments when they show up for you, for your events, either small or big. It's when people are consistent. It's effort even when it's not convenient. Okay. And so that's something like really, really sit back and look at it because it's a big deal, especially if you're somebody like me who's constantly like pouring into other people and don't expect anything in return. You would, yeah. So that's another thing in itself. I don't want to go out on a tangent with that, but okay. And so I want to be real with you about something that I've experienced personally. I've invited people into moments that matter to me, whether it's been events, business things, things that tie to my growth. And sometimes it's, I can't make it. I've got something going on. I'll try next time. And in those moments, sometimes we see those individuals show up doing something else, whether it's going out to eat, going out partying, whatever. And I had to sit with that and ask myself, like, why is it when it comes to my growth moments, it's not always met with that same energy? And so, what we have to really reflect on is in those moments, like, it's not for you to argue with people, it's not for you to prove your point. It's literally people just showing you what they prioritize, showing you what they want to support. And you just got to kind of sit with that and be okay with it. Because the last thing you want to do is force someone to be supportive and it's not genuinely what they want to do. And this is when it comes in with the other people where it's like they get you, they understand you, they want to see you grow. And half the time, like those are like strangers. People you don't even know will cheer for you before the people that you're really close with will. So just take note of that, okay? So think about your life. Have you ever been the person always showing up, supporting, but it doesn't always feel returned in that same way? So this is where the discernment really comes in because again, when you elevate, people don't just notice your growth, they feel it. And it's a real thing. And I was reading a post on TikTok. I was reading and listening to it, and it was just like it's crazy how the people who you've known all your life can't see like the potential because sometimes it gets blocked out by how we've been previously. But the people who you just meet, they can see your light right away. And so just think about it. Are the people around you truly celebrating you, or do you think they're just observing you? Because that's the difference. Not everybody around you is aligned with your growth. And sometimes it's not obvious, it's subtle. You know what I'm saying? It's the lack of support without being asked, it's the inconsistency, it's the absence when it actually matters. So I want to say this to y'all clearly. Real support does not need reminders. And I'm going to repeat that back because that's something. And when I repeat it back, I'm also saying it to myself. Real support doesn't need reminders. So if someone truly supports you, you don't have to convince them to show up for you. Okay? So I want to bring this back. Who has access to you right now? Not just to your time, but to your energy, your thoughts, your vision, your emotion. Okay? And then who actually has proximity to you? Because the proximity is the powerful part. It influences how you think, how you move, and what you believe is possible for yourself. So again, I want you to ask yourself, do the people closest to you pour into you, or do they drain you? And again, I'm not even saying this from a place of like anger or resentment. I'm saying this from a place of awareness because I've learned. I've learned the hard way, and I've learned the hard way. So everybody who has access to you does not deserve proximity to you. And that's obviously what it is. And I know it can be hard to hear, but it hurts, especially when you care about people, right? But I want you to think about this. What is the cost of keeping the wrong energy too close for too long? Because again, elevation doesn't just require growth, it also requires separation. And that doesn't always mean cutting people off, but it does mean adjusting who has access to what. Because not everybody deserves the same version of you anymore. Not everybody gets that same energy, the same access, the same space. So I want to encourage you with this. You will find your people. Again, the ones who show up without being asked, the ones who support without hesitation, the ones who genuinely celebrate your growth. And when you find those people, protect that, value that, because that type of alignment, it doesn't drain you. It just helps you multiply. So I'll leave you with this. If you're in a season where people are shifting around you, don't immediately label it as a loss. Start asking better questions. Is this distance protection? Is this alignment? Or is this growth? And most importantly, who is actually meant to go where you're going? Now, y'all, if this episode resonated with y'all at all, I want you to do a few things for me, please. Please make sure you like this episode. Make sure you subscribe to the Empowered Era so you don't miss future conversations like this. And we're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. And then follow me on all platforms so we can stay connected outside of this space. Share this episode with someone who needs to hear it because I promise you, somebody in life is going through the same exact thing right now. And as always, thank you for being here. Thank you for growing with me. And thank you for stepping into the empowered era. I'll see you all next episode.